Balthazar 228. Good to have you, my friend. Hillbot's anonymous steps. 1, accept the candidates that will not change. 2, give yourself to the power as Peter Dow Caesar. To the Hillary power as Peter Dow Caesar. Thanks, Balthazar 228. That's such a great point. That's pretty rad. Yeah. Hillbot's anonymous steps. It's not 12, it's just 2. So, thank you for supporting the show. Hey, Shelby Hall. Thank you for supporting the show. Australia sets range for wages. It means everyone gets paid a decent wage. We could learn a lot from other countries if we quit thinking we're number one. Oh, yeah, man. There's so much we could learn from Australia. So, so when I was in Australia, I was like, and I was doing the show at this bar, and I was gonna, and these Aussie comics were like, don't tip that bartender. I go, why not? They're like, she gets $25 an hour. I'm like, to bartend? She goes, yeah. So the tipping thing was another thing that happened in this country of owners don't have to pay good wages. They pass it on to the customer, right? Australia does a lot of really good things well. They're under threat, like many other places, of corporations coming in. Australia is also a country that had a mass shooting on the island of Tasmania in the early 90s, and then they just overwhelmingly, the citizens were like, get rid of automatic weapons. And somebody had an automatic weapon and kill a bunch of people in Tasmania. They did a buyback program. They got the majority of these weapons off the streets. You can own a gun, you know, you can still own a gun in Australia if you, you know, there's a lot of restrictions. But guess what? Suicides went down, gun violence went down, murders went down, all those things went down. So that's a good point that Shelby Hall, we just think we're number one and we're so arrogant. We don't want to look anywhere else. We don't want to get any other information anywhere else. Most Americans don't travel to other countries, so they have no fucking clue how other countries do it. And we should be looking elsewhere. We take the best elements of all these other countries, because that's what America is, right? It's a melting pot. So there's a lot we could learn from a lot of societies and a lot of governments and a lot of cultures and go, boy, we could take the best parts of all those things and make a country here that's really doing well. And adapt it to each state and city and region. That's why we have states. So, and the idea that someone was bringing up, like, you know, if we raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, then that means a burger flipper gets the same as an EMT. No, EMTs then should get more money. That's the point. It raises the bar. Everything gets up. If there's EMTs making $15 an hour, that's a fucking crime right there. EMT should be making $25 an hour, plus they get full benefits and everything else. So it raises the 15 is the basement. But part of it is, too, it's not just raising the minimum wage. It's bringing back more high-paying jobs. It's what that progressive running in Washington, who I just read her website, is that's what NAFTA did, and the TPP, it shipped away all the high-paying jobs. We bring back high-paying jobs because people like Bill Clinton and the Bushes have tried to sell us that globalization is so great. No, it's only great for the 1%ers. If we did a Green New Deal and brought back high-paying, high-end manufacturing and tech jobs, and green energy is actually technology, if we were sitting here and we decided we're going to overtake China as the #1 producer of wind turbines and solar panels, China currently spends about $110 to $120 billion a year. We spend somewhere in the $40 billion range. Then we could have all of these things. And if there's a multitude of $25 and $30 and $40 an hour jobs out there, it raises everything. Then the burger flipper is getting $15 an hour. But that's the thing, like, Working in a fast food restaurant was never really designed to be a full-time job to raise a family on. It was for high school kids. But because there aren't any good, or there's a lot less high-paying blue-collar and white-collar jobs, that means the only jobs available are flipping burgers at minimum wage. And if the minimum wage is that shitty, we need to raise it. So it's just $15 an hour is not the sole solution, but it is part of it, of a bigger solution. Shelby Hall, thank you for supporting the show. Rhombus Isotope, $15 an hour is less than a minimum wage in Australia. Yep. Moose Gal.